Thank you for joining. My name is Joseph. Today we'll be reviewing the report template creation on the Envestnet platform from the Advisor portal. As you can see, we are in the Envestnet platform as a demo advisor. To start creating the report template, you want to navigate to your platform tab at the top of the screen. Once you click on platform, you can go over to the customization section and click on report templates. The report template will show you a list of different report templates that you have available to you. You can click on the plus sign in the top right corner to create a new report template. We are going to create a statement template standard font. So click on that. It's going to ask you for a report template name. So we'll use report template demonstration. And it'll also ask you for a brief description. So here we can choose report template demo ad hoc, something I had already typed in. The reason we can choose or say the word ad hoc is that these report templates can be used ad hoc whenever you feel that you need to generate a report for a client, for example. A good use case scenario would be if you were having a client meeting, these report templates can be run as of the last business day. We'll hit save. That gets us into the Properties tab here under the Properties section. If you did have maybe a typo, for example, you can click on the pencil icon and adjust anything under, for example, the template name. Save that. Also, you're able to see the different report groups that this report template can be run for. So currently we have it listed for the generic reports, client roll-up reports, group roll-up reports, account reports, and the indices reports. If you wanted to, you can click the pencil icon and you can adjust the order that these reports will appear on the report itself, or you can remove any of these different sections as well. Now remember, the client roll-up reports is going to be the household of all of the accounts that are within a specific client. The group roll-up, this would be any reporting groups that you have created within a client. Say, for example, a client has qualified accounts as well as non-qualified accounts. Maybe they have joint accounts. You can create a group for any of those specific ones, maybe all qualified accounts, and then your report template will show the aggregate of those types of accounts. So in our case or example, it would be just qualified accounts that'll show up in the group roll-up reports. And then finally, you have your account reports and then any indices reports as well. So we're not going to make any changes here. We'll hit save, and then we'll move over to our reports tab. This is where we'll be working a lot with creating that report template. Let's start with our generic reports, clicking on that pencil icon to edit. You can see that we have some generic reports that we can add to make available. So we'll add in our mailing label, and you can add in a table of contents. If you have any additional intro or even a rep code bio, you can add those as well. For our demonstration, we'll only have mailing label and table of contents. We can hit save. Those are now added to your generic report section. If you wanted to, again, adjust the order that these will show up, click on that pencil icon, and you can click and drag to adjust the order, and we'll keep mailing label at the top. Now we can move on to our client roll-up reports. Let's click on that pencil icon. This is where we can add in any of the available reports that Envestnet has into the client roll-up or the household of reports. As you can see, they're in alphabetical order. So just starting at the top, let's add in account value summary, activity and performance. We'll add in aggregate overview, deposits and withdrawals, holdings, and transactions current quarter. Now you can obviously add in any additional reports that you'd like. If maybe you want to add in an additional report such as style performance, go ahead and hit that plus sign. If it turns out that you do not want to have that report, just go ahead and hit the minus sign to remove it. Also, if you're not sure which report you'd like to add, might I recommend selecting Add All and this will add all of the available reports to the different sections that you're in. In our case, we're only in the client roll-up. And then you can review the output and remove any reports that you don't feel are necessary. For the demonstration, we're going to keep these reports and hit save. And we're going to move over to our group roll-up reports as well. Let's kind of click on that pencil icon, and we're going to add the same reports here: account value summary, activity and performance, aggregate overview. And again, this is just an example of which reports you can select. There's no wrong reports to select, and there's no right reports that you'd want to select. Consider that these are the reports that your clients are going to be seeing and reviewing, so you want to tailor these reports and the selections to your clients. So I'm just going to select the same reports under here as well. And then once you have all of the reports selected, let's save. Now you can do a preview of these reports by clicking on your PDF icon here, generate preview, and we can do a template preview. It'll ask you to look up a client. So in our case, let's pull up one of our sample clients. And you want to make sure you select that client. Now you have this option in the drop-down which report you actually want to run. In our case, we have all reports, but since we selected any of these individual reports under each of these different group roll-up sections, if you do the drop-down, you're able to see which reports you can actually run. So if you were curious to see, okay, which report will show what information, you can include them on your list and then just select that specific report to be run when you do your preview. In our case, we are going to select all of the reports, so we'll keep that all reports box checked off, hit apply, and click preview. Once that preview has been created, the PDF will open up depending on your browser. Here you can see we have the mailing label showing. And then it gets into the title page of the report itself. Don't mind the date that's showing here. This is a demo account, but all the information would be generated as of the last business day. So also on this title page, you'll see that it's prepared for this client, and you'll also see your advisor contact information listed here. You have your table of contents that's showing, and let me zoom in a little bit. You have your table of contents showing, and you can see we have our client roll-up of reports, our group roll-up reports, and our account reports. Scrolling down, you can see your account value summary of all accounts. Then it gets into your activity and performance summary. And remember, these are the different items that we checked off to be included. The next report would be our aggregate overview report, and it's still at the all accounts level. From here, we should have our deposits and withdrawals. And then our holdings and our transactions current quarter. After the client roll-up, this will jump us into our reporting group demo. Now, this is, again, the example if maybe you had multiple qualified accounts or non-qualified accounts or maybe joint accounts that you wanted to show. This will group those together in here. Notice as well, there is a watermark on the back of each of these pages that say preview. That's obviously because we ran a preview from the report templates tool. After the holdings for the reporting group and the transactions current quarter for the reporting group, now we get into the individual accounts that were included. In this case, we have a demo account ending in 0566, and that now is showing the account overview, and then slowly it'll show the account value summary, activity and performance, deposits and withdrawals, the holdings, and also the transactions current quarter. Lastly, after all of these reports that were included in the report template, you'll have your disclosures. And with all of that said and done, again, this is a type of report that you can leave with your client. It's much more client facing. Let's go back to the Envestnet platform I can close this report template window. If again you wanted to remove or add any additional reports to any of the sections, go ahead and click on that pencil icon. And you can add the different reports by clicking the plus sign, remove them by clicking the minus, or rearrange them by clicking and dragging the two lines here. Now, let's say that we have completed creating a report template. Let's go back to the report template screen. So we have a report template demonstration. If we wanted to make a copy of this report template, you can click on the three dots, the ellipsis, and make a copy. This would be useful if you wanted to create a specific report for any specific client. You can make a copy of this report, and then you can go and edit any of the different reports that were included within the different sections. And maybe you have a client that wants to see more information or wants to see less information. When you make that copy, you can give it a specific client name, and that might help when you are creating those reports going forward. If you wanted to remove any of these existing templates, if you click on the report itself, in the top right corner, you'll see that trash can icon to delete, and you can simply delete any of these reports. Now, let's say we have our reports built out and we want to use those for our clients. Easiest thing that you want to do, go to your client list. So I just went back to the home screen. You can click on clients. Let's go to a specific client. On the financials tab of this client, you'll see in the top right corner the generate report PDF. This is the icon that you can click on to generate the report template demonstration that I just created. Also, you can see that you have the ability to create any statement template standard font here as well. So you don't necessarily have to go to the platform tab under customizations, but you can create it from any client. When you create it from any client though, that template will still be available to all of the clients within your book of business. So we have our report template demonstration. If I click that here, this will create a report based on the accounts that you see on this screen and any reporting groups as well. So all of the accounts listed here, and then anything that's living under this reporting group demo. If I clicked into this reporting group demo here and clicked on again that generate report PDF, this will create the report at this level. And if I go back a level here, if I went into any of the individual accounts, I can do the same thing and create that report at this level. Now let me go back once more. If you wanted to just review any of the individual reports without having to create that report template, you can always click on the ellipsis icon here and then review any of those reports listed here. And then lastly, once again, if you wanted to do this for any of the additional or any of the other clients, if you go back to your client list, we can go and choose a different client, click on that generate report PDF, and you'll see your report template demonstration. Now, I would recommend that when you are creating any of your report templates, you give not only a descriptive title, but a title with possibly a date. That way, as time moves on, you can see how old any of your report templates are and if they might require any additional review in case there's any updates that you'd like to make, whether it's to that report or to how that's being delivered. Thank you for joining today's call. My name is Joseph with Envestnet, and we reviewed creating statement template reports on the Envestnet platform.